Hey everyone. So I want to talk about seeds and harvesting. So everybody wants to reap a good harvest in their lives of safety, security, enough money to do what you want, enough free time to do what you want, good health, loving, wonderful, nurturing relationships. Everybody wants to reap those harvests and whatever that looks like for them. But who's willing to show up and sow those seeds so that that kind of a harvest can be had, the fruits of whatever labor from those seeds? And here's what I mean by that. Take our financial class system for that matter. There's a ton of poor people. The middle class, not so much. The middle class is no longer the majority anymore. It started shrinking in 1971 when the government took the dollar off the gold standard and continued to shrink until 2015. It's still shrinking, but in 2015 it became the majority. Like, the middle is no longer the minority, the middle is now the poor. That's the new majority. And so the poor and the financial class, it's available by law. By law, it's available. Anybody can move out of any financial class that they want to, which is pretty cool. But who's sowing the seeds to be able to move out of, say, the poor class back to the middle, maybe to the wealthy class? And by rich, I mean people that have their freedom of their time to spend their time how they want, to no longer be controlled or manipulated by the neediness for the dollar, to be dependent on that dollar to pay bills and eat and things like that. Who gets out of that class, out of that situation, and becomes rich? To me, rich is no longer living under the control or the manipulation of money to pay bills and eat. To me, rich is not having to do that. It's having control of your life, of your time, and having good health and things like that. You know, that's rich. That's rich. Rich isn't having tons of money, but you have no life. That's not rich. Or being a douchebag, but you have tons of money, but you're a douchebag and you got all that money by harming people. That's not rich in my opinion. Maybe to some people, but to me that's not. So people typically say no to any kind of an opportunity to get the harvest of what they want, to have more free time, to have better money, to have really good health, and to have loving, nurturing relationships, and all these safety, security. People typically say no to these things to solve these problems and to come up with these solutions. People typically say no. There's very few people that say yes, and yes consistently. Now, there's another subgroup of people that will say yes for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and when the going gets tough, instead of figuring it out, they quit. So then, there's very few people that are going to say yes to various opportunities to plant those seeds. And then there's even fewer people that's going to see it through, because no matter what, there's going to be storms. Use the analogy of planting seeds. The thorns are going to get some and choke some out, some of those seeds. There's going to be rainstorms and hail and lightning and thunder, oh my! And there's going to be people that steal some seeds. Birds are going to get some of the seeds, and who knows what that's going to look like in your life. A tough phone call, maybe an emergency bill for a car repair or a hospital trip, who knows. But stuff is going to happen, that's life. And when that kind of stuff happens, it's typically when most people are like, well, forget it, check them out. And then there's very few people that are going to be like, these are just the doodads of life, just something to figure out. And those are the people who persist and want to figure stuff out, people in love with learning and growing so they can figure stuff out. Those are the people that escape a poor financial class and they get into a better one. Not a different one. Well, it is different, but a better one. Not just different, but different because it's better. Money is not evil. I think poverty is evil because people starve in poverty and people don't have any freedom, much of any freedom to do anything in poverty. And people die needlessly, in needless ways. People die in poverty and often can't afford things that they need so that they can live a good life. There's nothing evil about money. People are evil and people have agendas. So don't take the false altruistic way of saying, oh, money isn't any good, money is evil, money corrupts people. No, people corrupt people. Money is an inanimate object that has no conscious thought or agenda, hidden or otherwise. People do. You can use money to heal the world or pollute the world. You can make money as a result of helping people on the planet or hurting people on the planet. I heart people. I heart them who have the guts to be themselves and to make lots and lots of money by spreading health and wealth rather than sickness and poverty. I especially heart people who get off of the sidelines and they participate in making tons of money by spreading health and wealth and even being a whistleblower against other people who make their money by perpetuating sickness and poverty. So we need more otherwise good people to make tons of money, to get off the sideline and make tons of money, start sowing those seeds. And think about it, you want all these wonderful harvests in your life, or whatever that looks like, free time, the money to do what you need, good health and things like that. Can you picture a farmer going out to his field and he's looking over it, there's no crop, and he's just saying, give me a harvest first, and then I promise I'll do the work later, I'll sow the seeds and cultivate later. Everybody knows it's not going to work that way. That's the reverse order of nature. Nature says, just because you need something, it doesn't mean you're going to get it. You have to do the work, you have to sow seed, cultivate, figure it out, and then you get to reap a harvest. It's just like that in your life, whether it's money, time, security, the relationships maybe that you want, safety, all those things. Being a free human being, getting out from being controlled and manipulated by money dependency to pay your bills. These are all harvests that require the upfront work of sowing first and then reaping. Sowing, cultivating, figuring stuff out. And when the going gets tough, you figure it out. You don't quit. Imagine a farmer sows seeds and there's a great flood and the farmer quits and he's like, no, give me the harvest first and then I'll figure out the flood problem later. No. The fruitful farmer is going to be the farmer that figures it out. Maybe he just has to dig a better ditch. I don't know. But that's an analogy for life, for sure. Sowing and all the laws of sowing and reaping and harvesting, right? So take those lessons and run with it, man. And feel free to share this video. And my website is tomberkenmeyer.com. That's tomberkenmeyer.com, just as it's spelled here on social media. Take out the space. tomberkenmeyer.com. I got thousands of videos and hundreds of blog posts about health, healing, happiness, financial freedom, and being rich and no longer being poor and getting out of that, and the antithesis to being poor. And because it's good, because poverty is freaking evil. Money isn't evil. Remember that. Money is not evil. Poverty is evil. People starve to death in poverty, and that is unacceptable in my opinion. Nobody should be starving to death, and nobody should be living that way, where they're on a process of slowly dying of other than natural causes. So we get rich with how we spend our time, and rich with how we think creatively to solve problems and help out fellow people. That's rich. So attach a positive energy to making tons of money and be outward and unapologetic, but yes, the more money I make as a result of some kind of value I'm adding to other people, the planet, other animals we share the planet with. So therefore, I need to make tons of money, because the more money I make, what it means is more people are getting helped. And I've also got to rail against and be a whistleblower against people who are doing the opposite. They're making their money by hurting people. And the only way we can really stop that happening is how we spend our money, and also by making more money ourselves, taking more of the money supply, participating more in the money supply. Because unfortunately, typically people that want to harm other people, they're the ones that want to make all the money, and typically people that want to help people, they're not interested in making money. So gee, I wonder why the money supply is largely in control of criminals, because you otherwise great people are on the sidelines not making much money and actually rationalizing not making much money, which plays directly into the already deep pockets of big businesses that become big business by harming the planet and other people. And it also plays into their deep pockets to totally control and manipulate you with the dependency of money. When you have a negative attachment towards money, That's exactly the narrative you're playing into of people and big businesses that want you to have a negative attachment towards money because you're easier to control and manipulate through money dependency. So stop letting them control and manipulate you through money dependency. And the only way you can stop letting them control and manipulate you through money dependency is you obliterate negative emotions that you have with money, replace it with positive attachments towards money, and go out there and start making your own passive and residual money. Because the more passive and residual money that you make, the more you unshackle yourself from the dollar. That's kind of the irony of being rich, is you detach yourself from money. You don't attach yourself more to money. That's not what being rich is. You're more attached to money. No, being rich is detaching yourself from it because you make so much of it in the form of residual and passive, not ordinary earned, not the kind where you have to perpetually show up every day, otherwise you stop getting paid. No, that's a job. That's a pyramid scam. And certainly not the way that most self-employed entrepreneurial people do it. That's also a pyramid scam. The way most of them, because they're trading their time for money. There is no passive and residual money. So you go out there, Google research, go to my website if you want to, tomberkenmeyer.com. I've got tons of videos and blog posts about what passive and residual money is. Learn about that. Be in love with learning. If you don't like learning, you're screwed. When you've done it to that's an inside job. So love learning. Learn about passive and residual money. This is one thing that you learn that could set you free to do what you want with your time, and then you reap all those beautiful harvests in your life that you want to reap because you learn passive and residual money, and you do that and you build that up and you unshackle yourself from the dollar. The richer you become that way, the more you unshackle yourself from the dollar, until at last you're totally unshackled from it, and nobody can ever control or manipulate you ever again through money dependency to pay your bills and eat. Isn't that more fun than having this negative attachment towards money? I think so, and I know you do too, or you're lying, one of the two. All right, take care everybody. I'll be making more videos soon. Bye for now. I'm about to get my workout on along this beautiful lakefront beachy area here because it's sunny and nice out today. So share this and my website, tomberkenmeyer.com.